COT data video for the week beginning the 6th of November 2023. We have to remember on Friday with the NFP miss, and that points towards the Fed pausing and potentially cutting in 2024. It's pretty much baked in that they're not going to do any more hikes now because the NFP was quite a significant miss. Because of that, it's going to impact the dollar positioning from the non-commercials, the banks and institutions. So this data is from Tuesday, but obviously NFP was on Friday. So the COT report next week will reflect that change from Friday. So I think what will happen with the dollar is that we'll probably tick down. And I don't know if we're going to break zero. We don't know for sure. But if we do, it'd be really, really interesting. So I think by next week, this will tick down because of what happened on Friday. Now that the euro is stronger than the dollar currently, it looked like we were going to try and get a crossover, but it had a little bit of a knee jerk there. So slightly more positive. Oh god, it's tiny. Yeah, it's just very tiny. There's a tiny decrease here. It's almost like they're anticipating something there potentially. It's a very, very gradual decline, very gradual incline there. Let's look at the yen. So probably nothing really particularly strong there, but do note that the euro is above the dollar currently, and I thought we might get a crossover, but it looks like we had that knee jerk. Let's look at the yen. Yen. And yeah, so still got these supports, and not much change. Yeah, 4,000 contracts difference. So less than 1,000, less than 1,000. Yeah, it's slightly more aggressive on the selling on the yen. So it'd be interesting what happens with this dollar. I don't know if we're going to break zero. If we do, it'll be pretty big. It'll be a big deal. Euro off, Aussie on. Aussie has been very erratic, and we've got the RBA this week, so we've got to be really careful around the Australian dollar. And the central banks are going to start indicating cutting as well. Probably not at this meeting, but there'll be indication at the next one. And 2024 will be the year of central banks cutting interest rates. The first country to go to do it, we don't really know for sure. I saw on Twitter that the Bank of Canada were likely going to be the first ones, and then it would be the Fed. But that's going to obviously change pending data. So the RBA will be worth watching if you're up at that time. Obviously it's in Asia, so if you're in UK it might be a bit of a struggle to stay awake. Aussie ticked higher, 83 to 75, so it's quite a significant increase there. But like I say, you've got RBA. Could be really careful. Pound. So like I've been saying the last couple of weeks, with that channel break, with the lower high, lower low, and then a strong break, and yeah, we had a decrease of positions there. But I think what will probably happen, like I said at the very beginning of the video, is that the dollar's potentially going to tick down by next Friday with the COT data release, and then therefore if the dollar softens a bit, the pound might just might get a little bit of a breather, and we might have a little rebound there. And of course if we get the two lines to cross, then that'll be a pound USD buy. Likewise, we had one there, it rallied 200 pips, and we had one here and it really dumped really strongly. So there might be a GU setup coming up here. So pound off, CAD on. CAD just more declines, isn't it? 48, 49. Yeah, it's a little bit more weakness in the CAD there, but we're not really heavily falling. We are in decline, but it's not like a big shift like the yen, for example. But look at those changes in the yen though. That's very strong. We might even see a repeat of that, thinking about it. What do you think? Looks like we might be doing something like that. So we'd have to keep an eye on these supports for the yen, alright? Yeah, that is a very key support here, because obviously it broke that and then we managed to create a new one, so this is going to be really, really important. But I think this looks like it's going to repeat. Can you see? So we have to be careful with the yen, I think. And if we're going to be risk on this week, which is potential, then the yen might weaken. CAD, done euro obviously. Gold we'll have a look at. Yeah, that's fair enough. Really increased. Oops. This one's down to 63. So we're still range bound. Above that it might be worth looking at, but I do note that we've got weekly supply on gold. Okay, so we're coming up to like big resistance on a weekly basis, but above that it might be interesting. You know, it'll be interesting. And of course the retail sentiment really helps shift the direction of price as well. The retail herd are going to be really bearish. This is going to continue higher. Gold, I mean the spot, not necessarily the non-coms, but the spot price of gold will change pending retail sentiment. And of course this is slightly delayed from Tuesday as well, but if you combine the COT data with the retail sentiment, it's a very strong indication. So it depends on what they will do. When we do the bulletin tomorrow, we can have a look at gold, can't we? Gold off, and Kiwi probably sideways, to be fair. Oops, we'll take gold off. Yeah, just sideways and chop. that's the New Zealand dollar for you. And likewise, I think Swiss franc will be similar. Yeah, just sideways. So I'll wrap up now. Remember, we got RBA. I'll do a video about the weekly risk events now into Discord, just so you guys are aware of like the high severity data releases this week, and then I'll put my feet up and we're going to put in a new logic on the robot where we're going to have much better risk management, and that's an easy change to make. That's not a problem at all. And I might even make a separate video about the robot and why we needed to put in those better risk management. And so enjoy your day, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow for the bulletin. Stay tuned for the robot video if you're interested, and I'll do a video for the economic calendar as well now. I wholeheartedly recommend fxsi.com and their indicators for MetaTrader 4 and 5. It's a 7-day free trial, so do have a look. There's no credit card required. You might be lacking in some sentiment awareness, analysis, and it does complement technical and fundamentals very well. Especially if you're very technical, you could be missing out on some sentiment, or if you're particularly fundamental, you could be missing out on some sentiment. This is like a sweet zone. It complements both, and it gives you a very strong bias about direction as well. So technicals are great for direction, fundamentals are great for direction, but the sentiment sits in between. Okay, and so perhaps if you're missing out on some sentiment awareness, these are the best indicators in existence in the world for that. And then you can have a look at this. You've got a 7-day free trial, and you've got your order book, and you've got your indicators, including the ratios, which are amazing. Just look at my videos on my YouTube channel and you can see how powerful the ratios are. And you can have a look. Just take your time. You've got 7 days to trial them, and if you don't like them, then that's fair enough. You don't have to renew, but we do have a code if you want to, and it's just the QuasiDB code, and it gives you a 10% discount, and that's it. So have a look, see what you think, and like I said, it's a 7-day trial, so you don't have to renew, but I think you'll probably find you will renew afterwards, because the order book and the ratios and the stop loss clusters as well are amazing. The stop loss clusters are great because you know where to target. Okay, so that's where you take profit, where people get stopped out. Okay, and that's it. So just a quick plug for the fxsi.com, and enjoy your day.